Welcome to episode 34 of Scaling a Social Media Marketing Agency. My name is Hervin, and this is a video series where I take you behind the scenes of our SMMA and show you what we're doing to scale it. I am documenting the journey here, so I am sharing what I am working on a day-to-day basis, the problems that I am trying to solve, the lessons that I am learning. So if you're interested in seeing how we scale our SMMA, then subscribe to the YouTube channel. With that said, let's dive in. Let me share with you what I worked on today. So the biggest problem that I was trying to solve today is that I wrote all of these emails out, all of these nurture emails out that I mentioned in my last update yesterday. I didn't work on this. Yesterday was Sunday, so I didn't update anything, but today I spent more than 3 hours thinking about this problem. Okay, so I wrote all of these emails down. Now, some of these emails are meant for people who showed up for a demo call but never ended up buying. For example, this last email right here is, will Studio Hub really work for my studio? It says, thank you for taking the time to meet with us. So that is I only want people who have attended a demo call to be able to see that. Now, there are other emails here, like these right here addressing objections. Again, I only want people to see that if they attended a demo call. Well, actually, I'm not so sure. This one's right here, I might just sprinkle in every once in a while. Like, hey, if you're thinking about working with us, here's an objection that you might be thinking or concerned about. So these I actually may not mind if people see it, just even if they haven't attended a call. It's just that one. Okay. Now there are other things here too, like the case studies. If somebody opts in for a case study for Shauna's case study, but then we end up sending first like Jody's case study, that might be a little weird. Okay. And then in which order do I send the success stories? So I have to arrange these things into a nurture sequence. And then also, let me just show you here a graphic that I created. So I created this one a while ago. So today I was just in here mapping things out, which I always enjoy, just working here on my iPad and diagramming, mapping things out to figure things out. It just helps me gain clarity as to how to build something. So I was trying to figure it out, like just gain clarity before I go out there and I try and build it so that I know what I am doing. So anyway, here's the problem, right? So somebody opts in for a case study. Then they go to a page that says, hey, schedule a demo call with us. From there, if they don't schedule a call on this page, we still want to have So I want to build an AI bot, essentially kind of like an appointment setter, that then starts a conversation with people to schedule a demo. Like, hey, I saw that you were interested. Are you wanting to grow your student numbers? I saw that you were interested in our case study. Yes. Awesome. Can we tell you about our program? Just a bot that kind of engages people and gets them to want to book an appointment and books the appointment for them. So that's what I want to do right here. Now, if they don't schedule an appointment with the AI bot or in the page, you see here, did they schedule? No. So then I want to add them to the long-term follow-up, which is going to send them all of these emails that are here, right? Well, some of them, like with the exception of the one that says like, hey, here are the objections or whatever that you may have. So, and then when people receive this, so the goal here is that people receive this long-term emails, and at the end of each email, it says, hey, by the way, schedule a call with us. So that's the goal right there. It's just, I want people to schedule a demo call with us. Now, if they do that, so let's say they have gone through, these many emails and they saw this one and they're like, yeah, I would like to schedule a call. This seems interesting. But then they end up, they schedule a call and then they end up canceling later and don't end up rescheduling, or they end up showing up to the call and don't end up buying. I would like to add them back to the nurture sequence again so that they could see, if they only saw these, maybe I want them to see the rest of these. Do we start them back at the top of the automation? So like if I have an automation that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if somebody books a call and then they don't buy, do I restart them back at 1? And how do I do it if I don't want them to see the same emails? Maybe I am overthinking this, but that is the problem that I was trying to solve today. And like, here's another thing too. It's like, I just want to start sending people the follow-up maybe after the first day, after I tried communicating with them through text message. And then if they didn't respond, only then start emailing them. You know what I mean? So yeah, so there's a little bit, I know it sounds like I'm overthinking it, and I probably am, but it's like I wanted to have something that was pretty robust, and well built from the beginning so that I wouldn't have to do it again. So that's what I've been thinking about is, what is the conversation going to look like with the AI bot, and at which point do we start emailing them? So then I thought, I mapped out what is the AI conversation going to look like. I initially thought of one big, in the past I built one big conversation bot. Now I would like to split it into like, hey, here's, you opted in for the case study, here's the case study. And then from there, well, initially I thought to add them to the long-term email, but then I rethought of this, so I wrote down what the conversation was going to sound like, hey, can I send you the case study? Yes, here it is. By the way, since you inquired, do you own a dance studio? And if they say yes, then they get sent to another bot that is going to have this conversation right here with them. It's going to say, great, by any chance, are you interested in growing your student numbers? The reason I ask this here is because we specialize in growing student numbers. Can I share more information? And then if they are interested, then we schedule them for a call. Long story short, without making this too technical and too nerdy and not interesting, the point being here is that I've been thinking about, like, how do I separate the bots, and so that if somebody doesn't respond to one, and how much follow-up should the bot have? Like, if somebody gets asked a question like, hey, can I send you more information about how our program works? And if they don't respond, how much should I follow up with them, right? Ideally a lot, but it's like, what am I going to say? Like, hey, for example, if I say, hey, can I send you the case study? And they don't respond, then I'm like, hey, do you want the case study? The next day it's like, hey, are you sure you don't want the case study? Hey, how about that case study? So that's kind of, I don't know if it's like, maybe I'm overcomplicating this. Like I said, you're probably looking at this and thinking that I am, but yeah. So then I mapped out a way to send out emails. So I created these sketches of what an automation would look like to send out an email, so that if people receive one email, let's say they receive this email, if they opt in again, like I'm creating this automation that it doesn't start them right here again. It doesn't send them that one. It moves them to the next set of email, to the next email. And then if they already went through these two, then they moves into the next email and so on. So I thought about the automation to do that, how I would need to build that. Then I thought about what the AI automation is going to look like. And I'm not done, but this is what I worked on today. It's just mapping out the way the workflow, the way the automations are going to work for the people who don't book, who don't schedule, who show up but don't buy. That for those people, like, how am I going to get in touch with them? How am I going to get them to schedule a call? How am I going to follow up and nurture them? I'm mapping out the automations for the nurture and for the follow-up sequence. That's what I worked on today. Yeah, let me know if this makes sense. I know we went a little bit technical and nerdy here, but this is where I'm at today. I do enjoy this kind of work though. It's just like, enjoy working on the Apple Pen, and yeah, some days is more tech heavy than others. If you enjoy these kind of updates where I'm sharing what I am working on a day-to-day basis, then subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next update.